Hey, what's up, Dean? Super Performance. We're at the shop working on the Silver C5, and where we left off was like I had gotten the charge pipe up and over the wheel well, and I had it all tied in the front. So now you can see I came from up in there where that 45 ended. There's a coupler right there. And then I came down with a bunch of 90s, 45s, whatever I needed. Came over and then not expanded, but used a coupler to go to 3 inch. So this is 2.5, that's 3 inch, and then swooped it. I ended up cutting the V-band off the compressor housing and welding the 3 inch directly in. Mainly because I didn't have a S475 style V-band that goes to 3 inch. The one I got is 3.5 inch, which is what the compressor outlet is. So I chose to cut that off, and the 3 inch fits in there really good. Like, it's not a big, nasty, sloppy weld. And basically the housing's like 3/16 thick, and there was maybe like an 1/8 inch gap, not even, that you just have to fill in, which fills in real nice. So I got all that done. The exhaust is completely bolted in. I got the flange bolted to the turbo. The V-band's tight. The wastegate is tight, and I guess I wasn't paying attention, but it needed to be turned back up. So now it's actually above the exhaust pipe where it dumps. So I really like how that is sitting right there. And I ended up having to restring 2 new wires for the pump. I guess they got pinched or something, shaved open. I have no idea, but both of them are shorted to ground. So I strung them through the frame rail, which was actually like super easy. I just went hole to hole. There's a bunch of holes, not a bunch, but there's 3 or 4 holes. So I just took like a real thin solder that I have and just fed the solder from hole to hole, and then pulled the wire back. And then up front, oh, you can't see it. Behind there, you can't see it. There's a little hole in the frame rail, like right here. Back up. Like I put a hole right here with a grommet. It has a little rubber grommet that the wires go in. But then I grabbed the boost controller and realized that they want both sides of the Mac valve run to the boost controller. So I had to string another wire, but what I ended up doing was taking that black wire out for the Mac valve that I had previously run. I actually just used that as the tracer, and I ran 2 new brown and gray, I believe it is, and that's the same color it's on the boost controller. What else? So I got like all the pump is wired to the switch on top of the turbo on the feed. It's actually a 12-volt switch, so you have to feed power through the switch, not negative. It won't work on a negative. And then I got the push lock style line. I don't know, it's plastic. It's like a poly or something like that. Run up and behind the clips, so it actually stays really good away from the exhaust, all the way across. And then over there I kind of pulled the bumper out a little bit and shoved it in the foam, and it actually like is staying in there really good. And then I looped it really long. You can see it kind of comes out and it loops really far and over. And then that one comes across here and goes into the solenoid port 2, and then port 3 comes out across, and I kept it above the emergency brake cable and behind a clamp so it'll hold it from falling backwards, and then looped it up and over to the compressor housing. I had to drill and tap the compressor housing So I just got done doing that and connecting it all back up. I also have the bung for a wideband when we're tuning, and I put the plug in it for now just so it's in there. So we'll let it down slowly. I got the wheel wells in. So the wheel well is all in on the back with the back tire back on, and you can see like a pipe really doesn't, it's actually, that's about level with the quarter panel, so it really doesn't stick out that far. I also got the front piece put back in, that plastic piece. I trimmed that, got that back in. Hopefully I don't have to pull any more wires through there, but it's pretty easy to take out. Okay, so this is the top view of it. I think it looks pretty good. That's the switch, and I have it wired normally open, so once it sees pressure it'll close. The owner also brought the MSD two-step box up. He got that, so we gotta get that on there. I'm stuck behind stuff. Come on. There are things everywhere. So looks like a spaghetti mess right now, but I literally, what I do is I take rolls of wire and set them to the start point. And yeah, you can see the gray one way up in there. So the gray and the brown one are there. And then I just string however much I need and a bunch extra. So right now, like I have, this is all for the boost controller. I have the ground coming out here, the power, tack signal, which is already tied into the ECU. It's the red connector, pin number 10. It's a white wire. So I have this yellow wire already connected into that, and that'll also give me my tack signal for the MSD box. So the brown and the gray will actually get pulled back across, like all this extra, which is a lot, will actually get pulled back through the firewall, and then I can keep it on the spool of wire, and I don't have to cut and cut and cut and cut and throw a bunch of wire away or whatever. But obviously the yellow and the red will have some length to it. The white wire, I believe, is like an auxiliary. Yeah, I believe it's an auxiliary, or you could do a switched input. So I always try, when I wire stuff like this, I always try to keep the same wires. So like red, let me shut the light off. Red is a 12-volt switch through ignition, black is a ground, brown is solenoid wire 1, gray is solenoid wire 2, yellow is RPM signal from ECU, white is auxiliary output, which can be used to trigger the methanol kit, which right now we have the Hobbs switch in there. So I might, to keep it a little simpler, considering that setup should work, that switch right there should work exactly how it is, because that was previously on the car. I might leave that connected for now. The white wire's here, so I can kind of tuck it over there and leave it for now. And then after we get the controller set up and good and going and all that stuff, we can, you know, maybe tie that into the meth pump to kick the pump on at, you know, a certain boost level, or I haven't quite looked all into all of that, but we'll figure that out later. So the charge pipe is literally 100% done. This was what I had left up here, was to get the IAT sensor in. So I actually made this piece, this adapter, out of some solid stock I have, and then the meth nozzle is drilled right into the intake, and the nozzle's on the other side super tight. So all that's good. I left this connection here loose because I still have to figure out this damn power steering pulley. but somehow I will figure that pulley out. I'll figure it out. That's all there is to it. But I'm gonna get these wires pulled back through the firewall, get them loomed up real nice, and I gotta find a fuse for the boost controller. I may do like one of those piggyback fuses. Not a big fan of those. But worst case, I could do one of those little piggyback fuses. I think I have one left over from the van, from the fuel pump, I believe. Might not be here. This might be somewhere else, hiding, stashed away somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much is moving along, and it's that much closer to being back on the road. I mean, once I get that pulley sorted, I measured the belt. Even though the pulley's not all the way on, I still measured the belt. So I got to get a belt, figure out that damn pulley, finish wiring the boost controller, stick the two-step on. I got to change the oil. This was kind of the break-in oil, so yeah, cool. And basically with the roller motor, the way I've been told through my engine builder, the way to break it in is you heat cycle them twice. So get it up to 200 is about what he said, 190 to 200. Shut it off, let it cool roughly about 100 degrees, which like here in Florida is like friggin' ambient temperature. And then cycle it back up to about 190, 200 degrees. Change the oil and let it ride. So I've done that. I heat cycled it the 2 times. Kind of the initial startup was kind of to see where the injectors were at with the data and stuff, and then having that booster pump deal increase the pressure. I've still been playing with the data on the injectors, but getting it worked out. So should be real soon. I'm gonna stop yapping now because I'm just yapping. So yeah, I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, watch for the next video, which should be very shortly, and hopefully it'll be running and driving shortly. And then one last look at the back now that it's closer to the ground. That is roughly what you'll see from the back. There's really no way to tell what is going on back there. It'll actually be lower than that. The car's still up on the lift just a little bit, but I think it looks sweet. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.